Are we going to put every matchup in slightly winning then? Because if we win an interaction, we're going to probably win the game.
Yes, our character is broken, Zane.
I'm Yobu there. I'm some grim player that people know. I'm Grimnir Moses, according to Kilvin.
You make a ton of tech on Twitter, so you're a bit more than nothing.
I am Kitten Aqua. The numbers, some number Grimnir and NA right now. I think I'm like 4. What are we calling the tiers? S, A, B, C, D surely is not appropriate.
The rage bait is going to be insane.
So what do we think about Gran?
It's got to be slightly winning, right? We're just a better character. I don't think we have anything that makes the Gran matchup particularly good, but Grimnir is just like legit tier list gap. So it's slightly winning.
Not wrong. If Grimnir didn't have an option to just wipe away your tornado and throw a projectile, I'd say winning. But since he technically can wipe away the projectile, we'll just make it slightly winning. So Djeeta.
I think we win Djeeta harder than we win Gran personally.
I actually agree with that as well. I think we beat Djeeta harder than Gran.
Yeah, I can agree. Yeah, ironically enough, I agree with that too. Just because at least when Gran hits us, it hurts. When Djeeta hits us, it usually doesn't hurt. All right, this should be the first interesting one. Katalina.
I think it's slightly winning for Grimnir.
I think it's even.
Why do you guys say even?
Why do you think it's slightly winning? She has better buttons. She's got the 9-frame DP. She has good projectiles.
And her ultimate projectile basically being instant can almost guarantee a punish if you throw a projectile at any point when she has 50%. Also, one of our best options on defense being guard cancel is literally risk your own death against her.
I just don't see this character as problematic. The only time where Katalina gives me problems is when we're on defense and she does space stagger pressure, in which at that point it's like I can't really figure out what to do against that. It just doesn't really feel good. But other than that, it's like I can't see how we're winning either, or like how we're even either. Just no.
You literally just described a situation where we're in trouble, but then when we're not in that situation, we're not in trouble. Isn't that literally what even stands for?
Fine. We can put in even.
So, all right, someone besides me take Charlotta because I got PTSD for this.
I'm gonna take the controversial stance and say this one is also even.
I hate the fact that she gets a double overhead against us.
She's short, so we can't hit her with air dash. She like legit just goes under air dash. I think she's the only character in the game. Light DP is a demon button. Her offense is strong, and her jump is obnoxious. So I think she has really good tools into us. I think it's even.
That being said, though, I'm still going to say even because we still can just chuck a billion projectiles at her. I just hate the matchup because Zeron kicks my ass. Lancelot, I say winning.
Winning.
I think this is one of our best matchups.
Agreed.
If we had a tier above winning, I'd put him there.
Either way, Percival.
Winning, or slightly winning.
I say slight.
I can't say either. I'm the tiebreaker, aren't I? No, I'm not. Did we say slightly?
I
have no idea.
I said slightly. You always said could see either or, and you're also saying either or. So I guess winner is slightly because I'm the only one that's actually picked one. Ladiva.
This is surely just like giga winning.
You know what? I'm down for that. I'm down to say we're just winning.
As long as you have the ability, as long as you can duck properly, we are winning. If you don't have the ability to duck, we are either slightly winning or even. But it literally all comes down to can you duck? And I say this as someone who still loses to Ladiva from time to time because I'm terrible against grapplers. It really is more so a player problem. Which brings us to our next character, something that me and Aqua are not going to agree on, Metera.
So in my personal opinion, we lose this matchup. Slight losing.
I say we're even.
I don't think we're losing, that's for sure. So it's either winning or slightly winning.
Really? Okay, now that... Okay.
I think defense is way too doomed for us for this to possibly be winning. And I don't think neutral is free. Neutral is like... very interactive on both sides.
If neutral was free like it was last patch, I would agree because I used to say that Metera was one of our best matchups. Okay, not our best matchup.
Me too.
But up there before all of a sudden we can't do a thing without her blasting us out of the air.
I think Metera players did legitimately just get better at the matchup.
That is true too. I will not argue that, but you can. But at the same time, because her main arrows all all got made faster, it became much easier to blast us out of the air, which at that time, besides just roll until you get close enough, was both a easier and more powerful way of dealing with her, and that option basically was removed for us once everything got made quicker. So this next one is going to be a fun one for the sole reason that Koji Coco made a Grimnir matchup tier list, then sent it to me a while ago, and he has Lowain as either the 5th or 6th worst matchup for Grimnir, saying that we slightly lose this matchup, and I don't see it.
We're winning this matchup.
I would say slightly winning, but I could see an argument for winning.
Yeah,
Either or, really.
Yeah, my initial thought was slightly winning, but I could definitely see the argument as well for just straight up winning. I'm down to put him in winning because I'll lose games to Lowain from time to time just because of Lowain's shenanigans. But it's because I lost to Lowain's shenanigans. It's not because the matchup sucks. I just failed in the shenanigans.
Before we move on, what do we think of making a tier above winning, but for real? Because there's no way Lowain and Djeeta are in the same tier as Lancelot and Ladiva.
Hang on, so I'll just make a row above, and I'm just going to call it Ha. Anyways, Ferry.
Winning, right? Just winning. Silence? Really? We don't think it's winning?
I was waiting for you.
I think it's slightly winning. I'm just not good enough at this matchup yet.
I don't see how this is anything other than winning. Ferry's just like not a strong enough character, and we can really bully her. Air Dash is really good in this matchup. 214U is really good. We have great options for dealing with Gigi.
And this is going to get brought up more likely later when CAG comes up. If I was better at 214U, I probably would be more on that side. So because of that, I'll agree with winning because it's an annoying matchup, but you literally have to. But Ferry pretty much has to like us and Ferry do very similar things once we get a hit onto people, but with Ferry you have to do it like 5 times to kill somebody. Zeta, a matchup that I used to say we lose before slightly lose before fuzzies were removed.
I would say slightly winning.
Is that even a good character at this point?
Probably not, honestly. Her
If she's not a good character,
questionable.
then it just might be slightly winning.
All right,
like, what does Zeta do?
Fair. Yeah, so slightly winning is fine. Vaseraga.
This is gonna be a fun one because Yobu likes this matchup.
Really?
I think we're slightly winning. That's the best I'll give it.
Really?
I think we're slightly losing.
There's no way.
Yobu might just be better than us, Zane.
I guess. Are you just that good at the RPS of Vaseraga stomp? Are you just always right every time he starts stomping?
I'm not always right, but it's not that bad. Vasaraga's not bad. Why do you guys have trouble against Vaseraga?
I think last patch when we had fuzzies and he didn't have 3 uses of his armor, I think we were winning the matchup. I don't think we're winning.
No, it's still fine. I'll tell you why it's fine. Because if he just does EX style with armor, we do EX tornado literally anywhere. You can put it in front of our face with standing, or we can do.
If he does it anywhere near us, it doesn't matter.
This is not bad for us. It's slightly winning. I promise.
Unless you bait the 5U and hit him in return, that is a worse trade for us. Because more than likely we just use seals for letting him getting freaking Soul Forge.
No, I promise this matchup is fine. Maybe what I'm saying does not make sense, but I promise you, this matchup is fine. We're slightly winning.
Apparently, but because it's 2 versus 1, we're putting in slightly losing.
There's no way! No!
So that's more, I think, what people were hoping for. So that being said, Narmaya.
I think we are slightly winning.
That's it. We are slightly winning this matchup.
You guys say slightly winning? I thought it was even this whole time.
In my experience, we just sort of like tear gap her, so.
Yeah, basically the one thing she has on us is the fact that her throw bait is plus.
I think it's just sort of similar to Gran, where she's a decent character, but we're just better.
All right, if you guys is slightly winning, then it's slightly winning. I'll just have to figure it out.
All right, one of my most hated characters to fight against, because 5U is a.
I think this is slightly losing.
I was not expecting that from you. I was expecting you to say even or slightly winning. I'm torn between even and slightly losing. That 5U legitimately ends every single thing we do in our entire kits.
It'd just be a skill issue. I can acknowledge that maybe I'm just terrible at playing 5U RPS, but in my experience, he presses 5U and then neutral is over, and usually in his favor. But even if we ignore 5U and neutral, he also just has like broken offense. That's his entire character archetype, so it makes sense. But as a character with bad defense, we don't like characters with broken offense.
I'm fine putting in slightly losing it. I can mentally hear skill yelling from Europe how wrong we are. Zooey, I say slightly losing.
I think this is
slightly
literally
winning.
the same matchup as Soriz. Like, it is an identical character.
I think it's slightly winning.
How?
What do you mean?
How are we did all of our explanations for Soriz, so it's your turn for Zooey.
So here's the thing that I do agree with. I agree that neutral is in her favor. That's the one thing I can say for sure. But in terms of defense, her offensive threat is just not very strong. Like, we can just hold down back all the time, and she cannot really touch us. If she tries to go for like a throw bait or like strike floor or something, we can just fuzzy match that by default, and then we can get out of it. And we have like very strong conversions off of it because we have some insane meters and old specials. Whereas like if we put her in the court, then she kind of just dies, you know?
So we're losing at all times except for when we're blocking. Am I missing something here?
Like one interaction, we snowball that so hard.
Are we going to put every matchup in slightly winning then? Because if we win an interaction, we're going to probably win the game.
Yes, because our character is broken, Zane.
Oh my god, Cag.
I'm gonna say slightly winning. Let's hear it, Zane.
Zane thinks he's losing.
I hate this matchup with a burning passion.
Yeah, I told you.
I
What
hate
degree of
I'm-
losing
I'm-
do you think
I'm-
it is, Zane?
It is not losing. It is even or slightly losing, in my opinion. It's not as bad as losing.
Zane is the air Grimnir.
Accurate.
Like, if his air game gets shut down, he thinks the matchup sucks. This is a universal truth. You'll hear it in every character. I think we have a strong enough ground game that we can make a lot of the matchups that shut down our air options work, and Cag's absolutely one of them. Zane does not have the necessary experience with the Cag matchup to know how winning this is.
That makes a lot more sense. All right.
I'm not gonna. I can't exactly argue. That's 100% factual. Grimnir has a ground game. You wouldn't know by watching me play. This time I'm getting beat by democracy. Yuel, yip. Winning?
Winning.
I'm okay with the winning.
Anre.
I think I'm legit just not good enough at the Anre matchup to know.
I'm between even and slight winning on this.
I'm on even.
I am okay with even. All right, Eustace.
Slightly
Do
winning.
we think it's slightly winning or winning?
I'll agree with slight. I say with slightly just because unlike the likes of like Metera for example. Once you're stuck in the corner against Eustace, I find it more difficult to get out of the corner against Eustace because you can't just roll things like you can Metera.
I have a hard time agreeing with that statement, but that's okay.
But unlike Metera though, we're winning even when we're not close up. So that's why I think we're on the winning side for that matchup at least. Seox winning.
Winning.
Yeah.
Vera.
Winning.
Yeah, winning.
Yeah, winning sounds okay. Similar to Djeeta.
Okay, Yobu, have at it.
Even or slightly losing.
I say losing.
I'm also saying losing. We're all shocked. I want to hear the justification, though, Yobu. We have no way to deal with dive kick. It's like the best counter poke in the game. It gives him plus frames basically for free. If we don't have the 50 meter, his fireball is ridiculous because our jump is so bad that we can't really deal with it otherwise. We need to constantly be approaching. And once he has us in the corner, his corner pressure is very annoying to deal with. And he has great ways to stall for time until he gets his dive kick cooldown back. And then we have to deal with dive kick again.
Yep, and let's just face it, he just has good air buttons to snipe us out of the air, even if you try to do that. And also, you know, the whole fact that his suction ability legitimately can ignore tornadoes and then get a hit that puts us in a crouching state.
Yeah, for some reason, I learned recently, Karma has, I think, heavy clash priority and just crushes our kick. I tried to kick him and he karma'd and he killed me for it, and I was very upset.
Oh, even better.
I don't lose to any other boss besides Hava, so that's why I don't think it's like that bad. Like, but when I play against Hava, it just feels impossible. But I feel like if I just have more time to figure it out, maybe it won't be as bad. That's the only way I can just give it, but that's not very convincing. So whatever, I lost to democracy.
Yeah, like I said,
If you don't have any arguments for why it's anything other than losing, it's pretty hard to justify.
If the argument is just I only lose to Hava, I don't know what to say to that.
You guys have way better arguments than I could ever give.
Belial.
I don't even know. Is it even? Is it slightly winning? It's one of those two.
It's either slightly winning or even.
I kind of want to say even.
I think it'd be even before I patch, but after Belial got nerfed, I might just be slightly winning at this point.
Yeah, I could too, but I think it's a relatively even matchup even before the changes, be it the nerfs to him or the removal of fuzzies. For the most part, both sides were relatively in agreement that it's a fairly even matchup, I think. Avatar Belial.
Winning.
I love the fact that we'd be hard losing this matchup if Avatar wasn't built like Avatar.
Yeah.
If Avatar Belial was just...
If Avatar Belial legitimately had a...
Did not get 2 shots, then like we be losing.
No, it's not even getting 2 shots. The fact that we're losing to him, but while we're losing to him, he puts himself in one-touch scenario because of how much damage he does to himself, how much damage we do. If he legitimately didn't do that, he would probably be one of our worst matchups, even with him being at 14k HP. If he just didn't hurt himself, he probably would be one of our worst matchups.
Sure, but that's true for like everyone, right?
No, he's the only one that does that.
No, I mean, if he didn't hurt himself, he'd be a losing matchup for everyone because he'd be broken as.
Oh, that I got you. Yeah, that's fair. They're the only characters with projectiles that can deal with his arrows, which, let's face it, aren't a ton. Would be the ones that could deal with him. All right, Anila.
Anre would be the winning matchup against Avatar Belial if that happens.
True.
Is Anila winning or is it Ha? It's one of those two.
Good question.
I think it's Ha.
I kind of want to put it in Ha. I definitely would rather see an Anila on screen than Djeeta, Lowain, Ferry, Yuel, Seox, Vera, or Avatar. That's for sure. Gran, at the same time, I'd rather not see a Ladiva, but that's my personal hatred towards grapplers. So, all right. Here's another fun one. Yobu, you first, because I got to hear this.
There's no way, Yobu. Say it isn't so.
This is even.
What?
Okay. Why do you guys think it's losing?
All right, Yobu. Wait. But what do you think is our worst matchup? In your opinion, who is our worst matchup in the game?
So this is just my suggestion because at this point I only have suggestions, but I still think it's Versusia.
Okay, I guess we'll get there. So what's the argument for Siegfried?
So I do agree. 2M is the real killer button for us. Yes.
Yes. Okay.
But I think all that does is that it just changes how we play offense. So we should be using far heavy less and doing far medium more. It usually beats out the Siegfried's far medium. Other than
offense
that,
the problem?
No, I'm just saying his 2M is the problem, but like that's easy to work around really. I do agree that his 2H like kills everything, but I think that's whatever. His projectile, we can easily beat that with our EX tornado. It doesn't really matter.
Outside the fact that you said 2M isn't that bad. You mentioning the fact that his 2H literally guts us.
Yeah, you're the air guy. My bad, I forgot.
So his 2H guts us if we go in the air, and his 2M guts us if we stay on the ground.
So for me, my opinion on the matchup, his 2H isn't even that big of a deal to me. Zane is the air guy, so yeah, sorry Zane, that makes sense.
No, that's
but
fair.
His buttons just out-button us. So if we go in the air, we get owned. If we stay on the ground, we get owned. We just lose neutral. And then on defense, he stands at the Siegfried space and bullies us with buttons and fireballs and this big swing that does a lot of chip, and we just never get out. Basically, the only time we get out is when we build the meter for U Tornado, and if he dodges it, we're just in tears. It's either slightly losing or losing. It's somewhere like in between.
If you guys say it's losing, you're out of your mind.
For the sake of Yobu, I will say slightly. Well, speaking of matchup that used to be relatively but isn't anymore, Nier.
It's going in Ha.
I say winning for this.
I'm fine with either degree of winning. So the thing is, I don't actually have that much experience playing this matchup the way you're supposed to play it, because I think it's boring if you just brave counter the puppet every time she throws it at you. But if you do that, she just sort of loses, right?
Yeah, you can even punish her for that.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can just BC the puppet and then
sometimes.
get a punish.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I almost never do that either. I always just jab the puppets.
Jabbing the puppet is RPS. Brave counter gets you out guaranteed. So if you
I
brave
know.
counter, the matchup has to be like giga winning.
It's
I
it's
could see
Ha.
Ha.
It's 100% Ha.
Alright,
There's
alright,
no way
alright,
it's
fine.
winning.
We'll
It's
put,
Ha.
fine. We'll put it in Ha. All right, Lucilius.
Winning.
Yobu is really confident, so I'll allow winning.
Why not? Look, I'm okay with that too. All right, 2B. A character that 2B players says Grimnir is her worst matchup, or at least one of them.
Grimnir is her worst matchup, then maybe she actually is top one. Anyway, I say it's even.
I say it's even as well.
I say it's even or slightly winning. I know I can beat this character. She just exists to piss me off.
She exists to piss everybody off.
You know something, Zane? Aqua Aqua's actually okay with this matchup. Like, he does not get annoyed at all.
Well, what we're talking about is another character I despise, and that's Vane. Because again, I'm the air Grimnir guy.
This is one of our best matchups, straight up.
I think it's slightly winning.
I think it's slightly winning.
Okay, well, agree to disagree, gentlemen.
Wait, why do you think it's hard winning though?
No, he doesn't. He thinks it's Ha.
Yeah, I think this is one of our best matchups, straight up. So, if he sets up shield and we have ground seals, he dies. If he whips full screen swing, he dies. The only thing he can ever try to do is just approach us in like 6-6L. And if he does that, like, if that's the only thing he can do, what is he really doing?
So I'm just
I'm down to put him in winning or Ha then.
I'm just going to assume here he whiffs the swing. You just 2-1 for you.
How did you know? How did you know, Zane?
Because odds are if they say whiff some form of special, it's going to end up being you saying just 2-1 for you.
Yeah,
Well,
he's correct.
it
He's
depends
correct
on the
about it,
special,
so
but
that's
this is one of
true.
the most punishable specials in the game.
Yeah, more. Yeah,
I will say the 5U does make the matchup more annoying. It's a really funny button now, but I can't imagine it changes the matchup that much.
I still okay. So I say slightly winning. Aqua says Ha, and Yobu, you moved it to winning.
Yeah, I moved it to winning, but I'm down to put that into Ha as well, so it's probably just winning then.
So averages out to winning. So this time we actually have all three of us have them in a different tier. Beatrix,
What do we think of slightly winning?
even or slightly winning was my opinion.
I could see even, but personally, like, I think
I just feel like solid top tier shotos are usually even.
We basically have ways to stop the things she does, and unlike the typical Shotos, her projectile isn't going to automatically either beat ours unless if she doesn't EX unless she's close, or even trade with ours again if she's not close. We can literally sit full screen and throw projectiles, and she basically has to run forward and go for 2-2 something, and then just hope we didn't put a tornado in place.
Okay, then it's slightly winning then.
Yep, I'm down for slightly winning. All right, Yobu, you're up again.
It's either even or slightly losing. What about you guys? You
Losing.
guys just went
oh, you're
quiet
not gonna give
after.
an explanation. We're just calling it there. I would probably say it's even. I don't think this is losing anymore. Personally,
Really?
Hey,
Interesting.
this is not. I don't think it's like hard losing, but I still think it's slightly losing because like neutral got a lot easier, but like the conversions. But like she still has some really good conversions, and then she puts us in the corner, and then she has jump scare 214H, and it's like that's tough.
Yeah, she still has jump scare 214H. Her 623 is still annoying to deal with. Her block string pressure is still near impossible for us to deal with, even without 5U being plus anymore. So that's why I think she's still terrible. The only difference now is that if we're sitting at literal max screen, we're no longer in danger of dealing with an unreactable pillar.
So I agree that defense is bad for us, obviously. But I don't think we lose neutral in this matchup, necessarily. I think we have answers to everything she does. It's just difficult to execute. But I think if you are playing very well, you can shut down the Versusia player's neutral approaches pretty effectively as Grimnir. And her defense is just as bad as ours. So once we have her in the corner, she's also gasping for air. It cuts both ways. So I think it's...
Alright,
I'm down with even then.
Alright, I would have mooned mine to slightly losing after explanation, but even it is. Vicola.
I don't know this character well enough to say, so I'll allow it.
How it is. Alright, the character is Kilvin says we should put it in losing because Sandalphon just destroys Grimnir. Again, I don't see where you're getting hauled with this character.
Yeah, I'll be interested to hear your explanation. I would personally put him slightly winning.
Same.
I'll put him winning then.
I just don't see where. Again, if you have any explanation for it, I'm down to hear it because again, where are you getting hot from this?
Good question. Maybe Sandalphon's just not a good character enough.
Are you saying Sandalphon is like as bad as Lancelot, Anila, Nier, Vicola? Is that what we're doing?
Alright, winning then. Winning. If we put Lucilius in winning, then we can put Sandalphon in winning.
That's a pretty compelling argument, actually. Let's put him in slightly, because I think Lucilius has more problems as a character.
And for the end?
Why not?
Not enough experience with this matchup to know for sure.
I don't have enough experience either, but...
It's hard to imagine this being anything other than Ha.
This is an easy... I would rather fight Galleon than Ladiva any day. Imagine going up against Ladiva, but she basically doesn't have a good way to get in order to even set up her plus frames, and her grabs are reactable.
Wait. What's Ladiva's good way to get in and set up her plus frames?
She at least has a option. It's not a good option, but it's at least a option. Galleon doesn't even have a option.
That's just Granblue.
Okay. Sure.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
To be fair, that's a better reasoning for anything that I could think of. Pretty much, just don't worry about it.